Much has been said about Stanley Tookie Williams, the convicted murderer of 4 people and co-founder of the Los Angeles Crips gang. Scheduled to be executed in California's San Quentin death chamber by lethal injection on the 13th of this month, there has been a coordinated campaign by anti-death penalty advocates to urge California's Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger to commute Williams' sentence from death to life in prison. This week, the NAACP will kick off a tour of the state of California to urge the governor to grant clemency, including delivering over 50,000 letters from Williams supporters to the state capitol. Recently, Vernell Crittenden, spokesperson for San Quentin, went public stating that Williams is still running the Crips from behind the prison walls. Radio stations have designated an hour of each day as Kill Tookie or Tookie Must Die hour, and the victims' families have come forward urging the governor to execute Williams. Williams has been on death row for 24 years. Convicted in 1981 of 4 murders during 2 robberies in Los Angeles, he has remained steadfast and vigilant in proclaiming his innocence. After spending 6.5 years in solitary confinement, Williams came out a changed man and denounced his affiliation with the Crips, a gang that he co-founded with Raymond Lee Washington. Since that time, he has written 10 books which have garnered him several Nobel Peace Prize nominations. His Tookie Speaks Out series is credited with helping youth deal with the pressures of joining gangs, and Williams has instituted the Tookie Protocol for Peace, a comprehensive strategy for achieving peace on the streets of urban communities. I spoke with Stanley Williams recently and asked him his thoughts on clemency, forgiveness, gang violence, and Black America. I know the world was a very, very different place for you 24, 25 years ago.
Yeah.
What do you remember and what do you miss?
Well, as today, all I remember back then was primarily the madness, the drugs, the senseless violence, the criminality, the womanizing, the ignorance, and things of that ilk. Nothing but negativism. I wasn't a happy individual. I've never experienced happiness when I was coming up.
We always say that hindsight is 20/20. And so looking back at your life back before San Quentin, do you often reflect on what you would have done differently? Do you feel as if society had let you down as a youth?
Ooh-wee. There's a myriad of things that I would have preferred. Let's just say that, for one, I'd like to believe that if I would have had a living father, a father at home, one who was ethnic conscious, culturally aware, spiritual, hardworking, and one who wasn't abusive to my mother, I believe that that would have helped greatly. I believe if there were some viable programs around, youth viable programs around, that perhaps that would have helped. I know for a fact that had the educational system been up to par, I would have gotten an education because I could do the work. For me, it was just too easy. The teachers were insipid. They can care less whether I came to school or not. So things like that, better, more rapport amongst the neighborhoods, amongst the families within the neighborhoods. You know, I've often heard that adage, it takes a village to raise a child, but when I was coming up, there wasn't a village around me or within the immediate milieu, so that didn't occur.
Do you believe in rehabilitation?
Rehabilitation? Well, I have a problem with the word in itself. I mean, I assume there are people who can be rehabilitated. I guess you can say, in a sense, that maybe I was rehabilitated, but I somewhat, I'm incongruent with that particular word because you have to be habilitated first. In other words, you have to have received it or experienced it, and to go back, because re means again, to go back. Therefore, I don't believe I ever was habilitated. Do you understand what I'm saying? But as far as redemption and or a redemptive transition, yes, I've experienced that 1,000%. So if somehow that can fall upon the category of being rehabilitated, then so be it. But I must say that while on death row, this place helped not an iota towards my reformation. Period. It was me. It was all me. I took it upon myself in order to experience redemption and to undergo a self-transition.
Why should the governor grant you clemency?
Well, I mean, the thing is that first and foremost, I would have to say that I am innocent. I've been saying that from the incipient of my arrest. And secondly, I will say if I'm allowed to live, if Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger grants me a clemency or an indefinite stay, it will also enable me to continue to disseminate my positive message to youth and adults. And last but not least, a clemency would, in a sense, allow me to inevitably prove my innocence. And also, I might say that I won't be just resting on my laurels or anything like that. Just recently, I had the opportunity to meet vis-a-vis, face-to-face, with the president and CEO of the NAACP, Bruce Gordon. And what emanated from that particular meeting was a partnership. And what that entails is that we're going to create a violence prevention curriculum for at-risk youth throughout America and abroad. So my life will not just be sitting inertia in a prison cell. I will actually be, as I'm doing now, but on a higher scale, I'll be able to reach not just thousands, but hopefully millions of youth and help to reverse this cycle of madness.
Do you feel that you are the victim of California's criminal justice system?
The fact of the matter is that I'm not sure if you're aware of the statistics, but blacks are 6% of the nation's population, but yet and still 42% of the nation's death row are black prisoners. And even here in this state, we're talking about black males representing 4% of the state population, but 36% of the state death row population. I mean, it's definitely an imbalance here, and it's easy for a black person to end up, or in essence, any black person to end up on death row, but primarily black males.
Can you walk me through a day in your life as it is right now?
Well, I wake up at 4 in the morning, sometimes 3:30, but primarily 3 o'clock. I get up, I cleanse myself before I pray. I spend 40 minutes to an hour praying, reading spiritual literature, things that I feel that enlightens me. And I exercise, and after that I have to cleanse myself once again. And then I start typing, working on various literary projects. Right now I'm working on Thoughts of Thunder. It's a literary project that it's a compilation of essays on various topics, racism, violence, prison, religion, redemption, transition, police violence, etc., etc. And the other book I'm working on is it's titled Female Gang Members, the Forgotten Gender. So I stay busy, mostly typing. I read. I'm a voracious reader, but as of late I've been trying to get out my literary works.